Hey man, how you going?
I'm so good, Nev. How are you?
Good. It's been a little while.
I know, but it's amazing to see you.
Yeah, you too, mate. You too. You've been on lots of adventures, and I've been following them, and you seem to be doing all right.
Doing all right? Yeah. Loving life.
Yeah. Look, I wouldn't say that. I would say that you're absolutely crushing it at life right
Thank you.
now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Are you good though? Like outside of all the band stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny to say outside of all the band stuff because I am so inside all of the band stuff right now. It honestly affects every single part of my life and
Mhm.
for better or worse, but mostly for better. It's been amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear. Good to see, as we said before. But the new Reliqa album, Secrets of the Future, is out on May 31st, and it's such a great record. Like everything is ramped up, and a lot of work and care has gone into it. I've listened to it a few times, and mate, it's incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm so
Yeah, yeah. It even popped up in my Nuclear Blast thing
ah,
today, and I was like, oh.
I
That's
know
super exciting.
them.
Yeah, it was so exciting to see. So
So cool.
are you excited about it coming out finally?
I am. I mean, I can't believe it's now May 2024, the month that we're releasing this album. Like we've been, like sitting on this, not sitting on it, but like working on it for so long and just like it's been such a labor of love for the better part of a whole year. So like
Mm,
it's bittersweet, it's really quite a scary thing to be letting your baby out into the world because once we release it into the world it's no longer ours, it's yours. So
mm.
we're really open to any kind of feedback we'll be receiving from it. So far so good, from people like you. We're really pleased about the reception so far, but generally it's a scary thing, but yes, so exciting.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but which are the tracks that you're getting the most feedback on? I could tell you mine at the moment that I keep when they come on, I go, oh,
All right.
Carve is sick.
Okay, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Does your copy say carve or is it cave? Because it's meant to be cave. But you're not the only person who has said carve, and it's making
Maybe
me nervous.
I'll have to check that
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
was reading it as I was kind of driving. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
No,
that's when
for
I've been
sure.
listening to it.
Yeah, it might be nothing. I'm just like, you're the second person who said carve now, and I'm really quite scared that it now says carve, not cave. But yeah, the song is cave. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Okay, I will look that up after this. And Two Steps
Oh, yay.
is
Two steps
amazing.
apart. Yeah.
Apart, that's the word I was looking for
Yeah.
because I can't remember
We
things
just
today.
call it two steps. Like it's
Okay.
yeah, like when we two steps, two steps. Yeah. But it's two steps apart. Yeah, I'm so glad that you love those songs. Like
Yeah.
I'm so interested hearing those sorts of things because yeah, like when you're so zoomed in myself, when I'm so zoomed in on the album, you don't have that scope of the outsider perspective of who's really actually going to like which songs. Um I've heard a lot about Soraya, which is really
That's
cool
a good one too.
because
Yeah.
that song is my baby, like really quite special to me. So like I've been really hearing quite a lot of nice things about Soraya, which is great. Yeah, people have mentioned Cave as well, which is why I mentioned up the carve thing. Um and um I think people love the flower as well, which is track
Oh, yeah.
and I love that song. It's actually my personal favorite at the moment. And I say at the moment because it changes all the time. So that's like, yeah, really cool because those different songs that people have been mentioning, they do capture quite different sides of the album because like it is quite a diverse album in its
Yes.
escapes. So every song that people mention, I think it says something about their own personal music tastes, which is really
Ooh.
cool because if you think about it, like if you think about a song like Two Steps Apart, it's interesting because I don't know if you like shoegaze or anything like that, but that's a very like
Yes.
atmospheric shoegazy like emotion filled sort of like song, almost like a post rock sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think it's almost like a little bit of a litmus test for what people enjoy personally as to what song they're like. I know what we could do. We could make like a little quiz. we could do like which Secrets of the Future song says the most about you or whatever. And like,
You
I think that,
totally could.
yeah, I feel like we could do that. That'd be funny.
I feel like totally like exposed now. Like I feel like I'm like, you know,
You're like, no one was supposed to
there's
know
too much.
that.
I know no one knows that I'm like this. No, but that does because that 100%. Because Cave, like that's dark and
Yeah.
brutal and heavy.
Yeah.
And then you've got the shoegazy side. That is definitely two sides of who I am as a
Yeah.
person and my musical taste.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I you should look into that
I
because I
think
know
I
you can
will.
do.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
starting something here.
you're onto something. You're onto something. But another thing I love about it is how many vocal layers there are and how much time you put into that. It's insane. Like, and I hear little things popping out all the time. And then you know when to bring it back as well because you've left in little things like the little breaths and things
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
which is like the universe just sucking in and then exploding.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've tried to be as human as possible on this album,
Yes.
I think. Like that was such a great part about having our dear friend and our producer Chris Blancato in the works with us like throughout this. Because he values that human
Mm.
side to recording as well. And when you're making such like when you're making modern metalcore like this, it's very easy to fall down the rabbit hole of kind of everything has to be so super sleek and shiny. And we did do that. And I really enjoy that part. Like it's kind of a nice like middle ground. Like we've got that sleek, shiny, polished, clean cut sort of vibe. But then we've also really kept in the human elements like
Yep.
breaths. It actually makes a difference. It does. It makes it feel a little bit more personal in a way. And like even I know, I mean, I won't go into this too much because this was more Brandon's domain, but I know that they did this with the guitars as well. Like
Mm.
I know they were using real pedals like as opposed to some Sims, which was really cool. And like they were tracking longer passages as opposed to note by note, which is like note by note is a massive thing in like really like techie metalcore and deathcore these days.
Yep.
So it was an intentional effort to go a little bit more human. And I think that that speaks volumes about the themes of the album as well, how human it is.
That's it. That's the word I was thinking of. Is very human. But like some of the stuff on here is very inhuman. Like insane. Like the shredding, like and those little
Yeah.
squeals and stuff as well. And like as I mentioned before, like what you're doing vocally is going back and listening to the earlier material and where you're at now is incredible to see how far you've just advanced as a vocalist and a front person up there. And do you feel that with this album it really helped you sort of stretch your wings a little bit and
Definitely. Yes, absolutely. And even some of the live experiences that we've had in the last year, like for example, touring with Babymetal,
yeah.
even doing Halestorm quite recently, these experiences, they've all gone into making me a more confident vocalist and feeling more sure of myself. I feel like this album meant a lot to me. Not only as an artist, but as a person, to be able to explore sort of like yeah like different sort of things that I'm capable of and also even like sort of there's a femininity to the album that I've never really touched on ever
Mm.
in our music before um or like I've sort of explored that territory very lightly in previous material but and I'm talking like I don't know what I am sort of like 2022 material but now that we're here I've had the opportunity to sort of like look introspectively and use techniques on the album that feel like a true representation of like of me like it feels very me I guess in a
Mm.
way that I've never had before and yeah like, the femininity was a big part of that too because I'm not really typically a very feminine person but I have become one in the last like 2 years or so I've sort of untapped this femininity that I felt like I might have needed to suppress or hide a little bit as I was emerging into the heavy music industry
Yeah.
because it is very male dominated and you do sort of lean into that masculinity a bit just as a way as a means of like sort of self-preservation almost and like fitting in and coping
Mm.
through sort of, and lack of objectification and stuff like that. So it was very liberating and scary, well, scary but liberating, I should say, to go into exploring femininity through my vocals on this album. But I'm really stoked with what ended up happening.
And you mentioned before, I know we're running out a bit of time, but I wanted to know, I was there at Babymetal in Brisbane,
Yes.
and it was crazy. Like, I think you guys, I was going to say you kids,
Yeah.
I am an old man.
We
Like,
get that all the time.
You kids. I'm like that with the freedom of fear guys. It's like we're grown adults, and it's like, oh yeah, but I'm an old man. But watching you up there just crush it, and just because I know you're good people who are really good at what you do. So when you see people up there achieving those things, it's like I turned to my best mate. I was like, "You see this?" And he's a fan now because he saw you with Babymetal, which is awesome.
Fuck yes.
What was the biggest thing you learnt from that tour with like Babymetal? Because I heard they do things a little differently. Crew.
Yeah, they do. I mean, everyone on their crew was so nice and so welcoming. And I think that something that I learnt on that tour was to not be afraid to take stock of those moments of wonder and joy that come with being an artist. Like, so I mean, for example, we played the Horden Pavilion on that tour, and that is a venue that I've been going to for years. Like I've seen some of my favorite artists there. Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Continue to Remember. I saw who was it? Parkway there. I've seen like everyone there. So like being able to be on that stage was something so amazing. And I think I said it in like our Instagram caption on the next day as well. I was like, we're not going to play it cool about this one. We're not just going, oh yeah, Horden Pavilion. We're going to be honest with our fans and with ourselves, and to say that this is so sick. Like, and I think that energy is infectious too, and it makes people want to get on board. Because it's easy enough to be like, look, we need to sort of play the part a little bit, and there are masks that we wear as artists. Like we do need to play the part, be like professional and be like legit about our craft, and our what we're doing as a business sort of thing. But we're also just human beings going through life-changing experiences. So we're sort of honoring that, and I've learned that through that tour, and that's something that I've sort of applied to every aspect of what Reliqa does now, and it just makes it more enjoyable, I think.
And then, obviously you mentioned before the Halestorm Skindred tour as well. I mean, Lizzie and that amazing, and I saw that photo, and like you're like, oh, I'm like, that's the coolest thing in the world.
That energy is what makes those things happen, because like Lizzie has that exact same energy, that joy and that wonder, and she's been doing this for what, 20 years, like. And she still has that, and that's what keeps that's what keeps her going, and that's what keeps people coming back. And so I've learned that from her as well, is to like take stock and to be really like practice that gratitude and that excitement for where you're going, and sort of drink it in. So yeah, like, and that's why we were able to click so well, Lizzie and I, and why we were able to like we hung out so much during that, like those shows. She's just absolutely beautiful. I love her. I miss her so much.
Oh, besties now?
Oh, I mean, I'd be honored to say she's my bestie. I probably am like just a speck, but like, I know that she's the kind of person who these sorts of interactions, it means a lot to her too, which in turn means a lot to me.
Yep, good egg. She's a really good egg. I like her a lot. But yeah, like this upcoming tour as well, you get in the road with RinRin. Yeah. Another good egg. I like her a lot. This is going to be unreal. I'm so excited for the Brisbane show.
Oh, I can't wait to see you.
Yeah. I'm going to be there. So are you pumped? Like
I am. And we're talking about shows where we've played quite large rooms, Babymetal, Halestorm, all of those. And so it's going to be, because that has been kind of our, like native stage for the last 12 months or so, which I'm privileged to say. But I mean, yeah, like just talking practically, we have been playing quite large stages. So it's going to be an adjustment to move back down to our own level, like for a headline show, these more intimate rooms. But a very welcome one, because like I said, intimate, it's going to be a whole new experience. And I mean, this is going to be the first time that anyone is hearing these songs live. It's our first time playing them, so we're very nervous, but we're very excited. We're working really hard to make sure it's epic.
It's going to be bananas. It's going to be so crazy. I can't
reckon.
wait. Yeah. That room, I've seen that room go off before, and it's...
Oh, me too. Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. But hey, mate, it's so good to see you again. We will have all the links in the show notes and on the website and stuff. Mate, you take care. Say hello to everybody else, and I will see you in Brisbane.
Absolutely. See you then. Thank you so much.